Your CRM is a train wreck and it's costing you deals. I'm Spencer Su. Last year, we've closed over $85 million in real estate by mastering lead management. Today, I'm giving you the exact labeling system that saves me hours, organizes my business, and 10 times my commissions. Watch this or keep flushing money down that toilet. Let's not kid ourselves. Your CRM is likely a black hole. You've got hundreds, if not thousands of leads, buyers, sellers, tire kickers, mixed together like a bad stew. You're spending hours sorting through emails, notes, and post-its to figure out who's ready to buy and who's just window shopping. Last month, you probably missed a $20,000 deal because a hot lead slipped through the cracks. That's not a whoopsie, that's you burning cash. Now, most agents are drowning in this mess, working 60-hour weeks, praying for a closing. I've been there, but I fixed it. I built a system that's helped me and my team close $85 million in the Bay Area in one of the most competitive markets in the entire country. But it all starts with labeling your leads like a pro. I'm Spencer Su. I'm not some guru selling you dreams. I'm an actual practitioner in the Bay Area that's a real estate agent who's closed over $85 million in sales the last year alone. I run a small core team. I coach thousands through my YouTube channel and use data-driven systems to dominate one of the toughest markets in the country. My CRM isn't just a tool, it's a weapon. I've spent years refining how to label leads so I can focus on closing, not chasing. If I could do it in the Bay Area, you can do it anywhere. Over the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna be handing you my exact CRM labeling system. You're gonna learn how to save hours every week, get laser focused on leads that make you money, and run your business like a machine. This isn't theory, this is what's made me millions. Now let's dive into it. Here is our 3-step labeling machine. Number 1, you gotta categorize ruthlessly. First, you need to know who's in your CRM. Every single lead will have a few key labels. You have the status, you have the source, where it came from, and you have the tags as to what kind of buyer or seller is this person. And last but not least, you also have action plans that can help you with the automated reminders and task notifications. The status piece is very simple. The question is, are they hot, warm, or cold? Are they actually ready to buy or do anything, or they're just a tire kicker? You want to know, because those that are hot ones, you want to have a labeling system that allows you to go after them very aggressively, because they are the people that have the highest chances of success. You would determine this by understanding where they came from, but also, have you had any conversation with them? Maybe those that have a buyer agreement in place, those are the people that you're actively pursuing. Maybe they're the ones closest to buying a place. Those are people you want to label it accordingly. Next is the source. You want to know where they came from, but that way you can always relate to them at a later point. Perhaps you met them at an open house. Maybe it's a Zillow lead. Maybe it's a YouTube lead. You want to know so that you can track from an analytics perspective where you want to deploy more capital if that lead source and that pillar is doing well for you. Next, you want to have it properly tagged, and we're going to be going over that momentarily. It's important for you to know, is this an advocate of mine? Is this somebody that actually had referred me business? Is this somebody that I want to be in touch with? You need to have that properly labeled, and we'll go over how I label it later on. Last but not least, you have to have action plans. When it comes to the CRM that we use, which is a public tool called Sierra Interactive, you want to understand how often should you be reaching out to people. For example, if someone was ready to go, you need to have dialogue with them every single week. If somebody they're not going to be making a move in 9 months, you might as well set a reminder to remind yourself to reach out in 9 months, because there's no reason to waste any time right now with them. So why does this actually work? This works because you're not going to be guessing anymore. If you guess and you lose track of things, there may be some people that you should be following up with that you're not. There may be other people that you thought you wanted to follow up with, but you didn't, and then now they all of a sudden had bought a home or sold a home with somebody else. Being able to prioritize and understand where people are at is a key driver to your success. Now, how exactly do I break up the leads when it comes to the tags? I break it up into these specific categories. If it's a buyer or a seller that came from an inexpensive lead source, so it could be like a Google PPC lead or a Facebook ad, those are people that I would label as LQ. These are people that I have not talked with yet, but it came in from a cheaper method. The people that I would label as HQ, if it's like a Zillow lead, Realtor.com lead, a referral, same. The concept is these are people that I have not talked to yet, but they came from a more expensive lead source. Next, I have a different label from follow-up A to follow-up D. So A, B, C, D, all relative to when they would be willing to buy. So if they're really far out, I would label them as follow-up D, those that are 6+ months out. If I was labeled at follow-up A or B, those are people that buy within the month or within the next 3 months. right? And then follow-up C, as you can guess, would be between potentially 3 to 6 months, and you would label that accordingly. The other label that I have is for advocates of mine. These are people that they may know me. I don't know if they have a realtor or not, but maybe one day they may be able to be a client of mine or potentially send me business. I also then have a separate label, Top Advocate A, Top Advocate B. Top Advocate A are people that refer me business and we ultimately close on those clients, versus Top Advocate B are people that have referred me business but we haven't done any closings. Now they're both very important because those are people that have given you business and you want to ultimately thank them. Maybe you do different events for them, maybe different giveaways. There's all these different things you can do to stay relevant to those wonderful people that have helped you along with your journey. Now the other labels I have is another called newsletter. So those are the people that I don't really think that they're gonna be working with me, but look, I never know. Let's have it in our newsletter, and who knows, maybe one day they'll do something, but I'm not gonna actually pursue them. I also have other things that are part of the ecosystem. So I have like lenders that you can label them. I have out-of-state real estate agents. I also do something similar to like those people that refer me business. I label them as Top Realtor A or Top Realtor B. Same kind of concept with what I just shared earlier when it comes to those advocates. Now, step 2, you gotta automate things. The automation is more about, hey, are you actually creating different scripts that may be automatically sending them messages, maybe calls or texts, depending on those that are cold. It could be also the level of automation. How often are you getting reminders to do outreach for them, right? Like these are different examples for you to be able to stay in front of them and stay relevant. Because think about this, we as realtors and sales professionals, we can control our schedule. The other people that are doing buying and selling, they're not on top of it as we are because this is our business, right? So if you just follow up manually and you follow up and you didn't get a response, if you didn't have any sort of automation, you may forget to reach out again, and then that person may be just at like this black hole that you may never had a chance to remind you to work with them. So super important to have the automation that is in place, or find a system that gives you these weekly reminders, and or find something that can have the automated messages, especially to those that are cold leads. The last but not step is this has to be a routine process, right? There is no AI or automation that is completely just hands-free. You still got to put in the work, but putting in the work allows you to be a lot more organized so you're not missing out on these right opportunities. And so you got to check it out either weekly or bi-weekly. You got to look at, are things properly labeled? Do they have the right action plans on them? Is the status correct? Did you forget to give them those updates? These are really, really important for you to have a successful and long-term career. Now, this isn't just straight up talk or just concept. My team and I have closed over $85 million last year using this exact system. And for me, when I first started, it was super important to do this because I realized very early on, oh my God, this person I totally forgot. And the next time I did a follow-up, they already bought and sold with somebody else. That was a complete waste because you can just do that math, how much money that was completely lost just because you follow up with the wrong people, right? So ultimately, when I personally experienced that loss, which is tens of thousands of dollars at a time, I knew I had to be organized. It'll save me time, allows me to focus on those hot opportunities and not create lots of chaos and confusion. Now, I do want to comment though. You may be thinking, Spencer, this sounds like extra work. Wrong. Labeling only takes 30 seconds per lead and saves you hours of digging and talking to the wrong people. But maybe you're like, look, my CRM doesn't even do that. BS. Every CRM has tags or filters. Now, if you feel like it's not good enough, use a product like what we just mentioned at CRM Interactive. They're a great solution that can help you because I personally use it for myself. So figure out the tool that can work if your CRM really can't do it, and certainly get away from moving from your spreadsheet. Now, this is so critical by having the right systems because this can be life-changing. Here's what you get if you do this. You're gonna save tens of hours a week. You're not gonna be chained to a desk, just following the wrong people. You're gonna be organized. You're gonna have a better sense of purpose. You're gonna feel more productive. You're gonna gain more revenue. You're gonna talk to people that wanna talk to you. This system is how I got into a 7-figure business myself, a team that's crushing it, and time to coach people like yourself on this platform. So if you want that, you gotta label your leads. It's nothing attractive, it's behind the scenes, it's maybe grunt work, but that is super important for you to do to be aligned and be successful. All right, you've got the system now do it. Open your CRM today, carve out time every single week, start labeling them, what I just shared. It just takes you a few minutes to get the basics done, but then it takes you some time to go through, especially if you have a lot of contacts. Now, if this is helpful and you want to go over my mastermind and learn how to generate over $300,000 a year on YouTube, my contact information is in the description below. And I look forward to go over that game plan with you.